Thank you for taking the time to listen to this phonics presentation. By the end of this presentation, you will have a better understanding of what phonics is, what phonics teaching looks like in our school, what the alphabetical code is, and how you can support your child with phonics at home. We set children up for lifelong reading and spelling when we teach phonics rigorously and comprehensively. We are not expecting children to deduce the code for themselves, like many of us had to during our school days. Phonics teaches children to listen carefully and identify the sounds that make up each word. You use phonics every day. What do we do when we want to read an unknown Latin plant name? What do we do when we want to spell a new multi-syllable word? Try to read these words. What phonics teaching looks like in our school. At Salisbury Church of England Primary School, we teach children phonics through the Floppies Phonics programme. Here is a quick guide to some of the jargon that you may hear. Phonics. Phonics is the teaching of reading by developing awareness of the sounds in words and the corresponding letters used to represent those sounds. Phoneme. Any one of the 44 sounds which make up the words in the English language. Grapheme. How a phoneme is written down. There can be more than one way to spell a phoneme. For example, A is spelt differently in each of the words way, make, fail, great, sleigh, and lady. Blending. Putting together the sounds in a word in order to read it. For example, r, o, g, frog. Segmenting. Breaking a word into its sounds in order to spell them out. For example, frog. R, o, g. Floppy's Phonics program teaches children using a two-pronged approach to synthetic phonics teaching and learning. So children will learn sounds systematically, and we will plan what sounds we want children to learn and when. Children will also learn sounds incidentally. Sometimes children will be reading a book for pleasure and they will come across a sound that they've not seen or heard in their phonics lessons. We will refer to the alphabetical chart and show children this new sound and help children to apply this new sound to their reading or their writing. The synthetic phonics teaching principles work for all. The alphabetic code is taught systematically and incidentally when required. The same alphabetic code and phonics skills need to be taught no matter how different the children may be. Some children need extra practice. Children all succeed to talk, to read, to write, and to spell. What is the alphabetic code? The alphabetic code allots letter symbols for the smallest sounds of speech. This is the basis for creating a spelling code, enabling us to communicate through writing. The alphabetical code translates the letter symbols into sounds, and this is the basis for reading. Here is an example of the Floppies Phonics alphabetic code. You can see clearly here that the English alphabetic code is much more complex than the Spanish alphabetic code. The English code has around 44 sounds, as opposed to the Spanish code, which has 24 sounds. This is a brief example of the teaching and learning sequence for Floppies Phonics. The children are taught a new grapheme every 2 days. During day 1, the children are introduced to their new grapheme. They apply their new phonics knowledge to segment and blend words containing this new grapheme using the online resources. They then apply this knowledge independently as they read books containing their new grapheme. During day 2, the children recap and consolidate their existing knowledge. They then go on to complete worksheets. These worksheets will be sent home. How can I support my child with phonics at home? You can provide lots of opportunities for oral blending and segmenting at home. You may ask your child to go and get their coat and pull up their z, I. Or when your child is getting ready to eat their cereal and they have their spoon in their hand, you might say, "Can you segment the word spoon?" and encourage your child to segment the word spoon. S, p, oo, n. The children will take home phonics folders. These folders will contain the phonics worksheets that the children have already completed in school. Here is an example of a worksheet that the children will take home. The children will have completed this worksheet in school, but please take the time to look back over this worksheet with your child and talk about their learning in order to consolidate their phonics knowledge. When teaching your child to decode a word in reading, encourage them to study the printed word from left to right and recognise any letter groups. Finger track under each grapheme from left to right while saying each sound. Run your finger right under the whole printed word from left to right when you say the whole word. Study the printed word first, looking for letter groups. We can see here the C and the K make one sound. When teaching your child to edit their spellings, face the same way as your child. Left hand, palm facing. Make sure your child sees your hand on the left. Say the word to be spelt very slowly. The individual sounds will pop out. Tally the sounds onto the thumb and fingers. Repeat each sound separately and clearly. Then count how many sounds. Model how to write the sound dashes, top left of the page, from left to right. The sound dashes double up as writing lines. Write the graphemes on the lines whilst engaging the child to call out the sounds as you write. Then sound out and blend to check the word. Confirm if the word is spelt correctly. Here is an example of the sound dashes that double up as writing lines. Also take this opportunity to check letter formation too. The children will take home decodable phonics books that are carefully matched to their phonics ability. You can also support your child with phonics at home by playing interactive games. These are the same games that we play during our phonics lessons in school. These will give the children the opportunity to practice spelling and reading words containing the graphemes that they have been taught. I want to end this presentation by talking about how important books are. We want children to love reading. We want the children to read their phonics books to you every night, but we also want you to read to your child so that they develop a real love of reading. Reading massively increases children's vocabulary and their knowledge and understanding of the world. Research shows that reading has a huge impact on children's life opportunities. The importance of developing a reading culture, both at home and school, cannot be overemphasized. Thank you for taking the time to listen to this presentation.